Hello, Star Wars Unboxing fans. Welcome to another episode of Darth Tuba's Star Wars Unboxing Show. I'm your host, Darth Tuba, and before we get to our actual unboxing, I did want to take some time right now to kind of talk a little bit about my, I guess you could say my passive reaction to the kind of embargo-lifted reviews that have been coming out about the Galactic Starcruiser down in Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida. So now there might be some of you, I doubt many watching this channel, but there might be some of you that don't know what that is. But essentially Disney has built, I don't want to call it a hotel, I don't want to call it a cruise ship, because it's not quite either one of those. I want to call it an experience. It's part of their whole plan when they built Galaxy's Edge that there was going to be this other component, this kind of upcharged experience event, unlike anything that has been done in Disney or anywhere else, frankly. And that is the Galactic Starcruiser. Okay, so it was essentially what they built is a 100-room, I believe, hotel, quote unquote, that is essentially a cruise ship, a star cruise ship. Okay, the idea is that you arrive at the front gate and they shuttle you up to the Halcyon in orbit, and you have this adventure, immersive, 100% immersive experience in this area for 2 days. Sort of. It's like a afternoon, an overnight, then a full day, which includes a excursion to Batuu and back, and then another night, and then the next morning you depart. So it's kind of a day and a half and 2 nights. So up until, there's been a lot of speculation about it, a lot of talk about it. I mean, people that work and live down in Florida have seen the Halcyon being built. It was not a very large space compared to like a big hotel. But, there was a lot of talk and a lot of buzz about it. And they started about, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago, started coming out with some new footage and some stuff about it. And there was a lot of negative reaction from the vlogging community, if you will, from Star Wars fan sites and things of that nature. And I was very intrigued by that. I didn't quite understand, looking at the footage of what we were seeing and some of the promotional images, why people were so upset. I think it after I listened to people's complaints a little bit, I think it came down to essentially price. It is a very expensive one. Once the price dropped, I think that's when things started to really kind of get nasty. But then again, Disney has not been cheap in any area, so it's quite a thing to swallow when you look at the cost of everything. So Disney was being priced in at, I think I'm going to paraphrase numbers here, but it's approximately, for 2 people in basically a crew cabin hotel room kind of style, think about a cruise ship hotel room. All meals, all entertainment included. The price is about $5,000 total, which is a lot. It is a lot. I'm not going to lie. That's more than I can just shell out for a weekend getaway. And then for a family of 4, it's closer to $6,000, and that's just a lot of money. And I get that complaint. But in addition to that, people were seeing imagery and stuff, and they were saying, it looks fake, it doesn't look good, it looks like, IKEA furniture, and da-da-da-da-da. That I wasn't quite getting. I'm like, I suppose if you only have a vision of Star Wars that's from the original trilogy, that you think everything should have a used, kind of worn down and gritty look to it, or it should be, like the Death Star, which is just flat and gray and, nothing. I don't quite understand those criticisms. If you embrace the entire Star Wars mythos from the first movie to the current release, and TV shows like The Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett, and the cartoons and everything, among all that, you definitely see a lot of different styles of architecture and things like that. So I wasn't sure about that. So anyway, at the time this week, by the way, I always release my videos a little bit early, or like later down the road. I am recording this on Friday, February 25th. All week leading up to this day, they have been having these media previews where they've invited media to come in at Disney's expense, has been inviting the media to come in and experience the Halcyon, which is the name of the Galactic Starcruiser. as far as I can tell, have experienced two ways. They can experience it in two ways this past week. One was a media preview, which was like a half a day, 4 or 5 hours or something of that nature. And they kind of put the best of their experiences in those hours, and sampling of the food, sampling of some of the entertainment. And then that was for some media. And then for other media, there was basically the actual experience, a 2-night experience where they would stay on the hotels and do it. Then, I don't know who got invited to do what or how or what have you, but anyway, it was all on Disney's dime. And then they had an embargo, which is normal, that happens. And the embargo was lifted today, which is February 25th, Friday. So at 9 a.m., my video, YouTube video feed, the one that of the videos I subscribe to, because I subscribe to a lot of Star Wars and Disney podcasts or YouTube channels, it actually, exploded with all of these different people's video things. Now, I want to send a shout out and a thank you to those people that were invited, and that I wasn't invited. I am not nearly big enough channel to warrant something of that nature. Maybe someday, but certainly not now, and that's okay. I wouldn't have been able to go anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. So fine. But I was actually so appreciative of those that were invited and that took the opportunity to do it. Some of the ones that I watch are Paging Mr. Morrow, who's actually watched our channel a few times and watched some of our live streams. If you watch us on the rewatch, hello, Nate. Also, Super Enthused, Tim Tracker, and Resort TV1, WDW Radio with Lou Mangello, which is normally a podcast, but he was doing some video on this one. So those are some of the ones that JoJo's World and Kyle Palo, and I basically spent the day watching these videos and seeing my reaction to their reactions. And I gotta say, All Ears Net was another one too. Molly and Quincy, if those who watch that show, it's a fantastic show. If any Disney lovers, definitely subscribe to All Ears Net. So I wanted to give my thoughts on it, and my thoughts on it are pretty straightforward. I was kind of on the fence about wanting to sign up to do this because of the price. I'm no longer on the fence. I am absolutely going to sign up to do this at some point. It's a little challenging financially right now for me to do it. So, but I'm going to look over the course of the next few months or maybe into 2023. But I am definitely going to take part in this experience. It looked like a hootin' good time. For all those that were involved, there was a lot of energy in the space. People were excited. Now, granted, I understand a lot of people there were not footing the bill, so they weren't, they weren't being perhaps as judgmental on whatever was going on. But even with a price tag attached to it, there was a huge amount of entertainment. There was a huge amount of story entertainment. I would say this: if you want some idea of what you would be experiencing, imagine this. If you've had any experience with a cruise ship, it's like a cruise, like a short 2-day cruise, okay? In that, it's set up like that. It's you have cabins, you have a crew, that kind of a thing. But it's also a story-driven element, and that is the key. You have to be willing to immerse yourself in the story. See, the nice thing about Galaxy's Edge is you don't necessarily have to do that. If you want to go to Galaxy's Edge and just do one walkthrough, go on a ride, get a drink at Oga's, or get a Ronto wrap, get a blue milk, and that's it, fine. And you don't have to do much with that. Okay, you can be as little invested into it or as much invested in it as you want. But when it comes, and Disney has said they want every guest to feel comfortable with their level of immersion that they want to do. If they want to just walk in and kind of be an observer, they can do that. If they want to walk in and fully be involved, they can do that. But I will say, a little addition to what Disney said, if you want to get your money's worth, then when it comes to the Galactic Starcruiser, then I strongly urge everyone to really try to fully immerse themselves in it. So it's like a cruise in the sense that the food is all included. There's entertainment that's included, but it's also like what I would think is, and I've never done one, but from what some of the vloggers were saying, an escape room. If you've ever done an escape room where you're with a bunch of other people and you have to work together to solve some puzzles that help achieve a level at getting from one room to another room into another room. There are these little mini games that take place throughout the cruise ship, and you are kind of tasked with that. There's a lot of technology involved with your phone, with the Play app, the data pad that you can get as part of your My Disney experience. Or actually, it's a Disney Play app. It's actually a separate app, and it remembers what you do. At least that's what it looks like you're going to be doing. Okay, so I am very excited for it. I am hoping all the success in the world for Disney. I think that they're doing something excruciatingly and almost painfully innovative, and I think that they're going to have to adjust and try new things and see how things work. I'm sure there are going to be some things that are happening right now that won't happen later, or maybe there'll be additional things. So some of the other complaints I've been hearing is like, well, they started doing things that we were hoping they would do in Galaxy's Edge. Things like adding characters, like there was characters that had makeup on, and there was some characters that were dressed as like Twi'leks and things of that nature. And I agree that was something that we saw in concept art that was going to be in Galaxy's Edge. But I also think that, money being money, all concept art is, blue sky, meaning sky's the limit, no budget, no anything, just dream whatever you want. And, they start with certain things, and then they pan it back, and then they pan it back, and then even this concept art they release sometimes gets scaled back. There wasn't much scaled back when it came to Galaxy's Edge, in my personal opinion. It looked amazing from most of the concepts. I know there was a third attraction they were thinking about doing, like a bantha ride or something, and they got that into concept stage, and it didn't happen. Maybe it will happen at a later phase or something. But yeah, the characters not walking around as much, aside from Rey and Chewie and Kylo Ren and some stormtroopers. That's basically what we got. But here there are new characters, and Rey and Chewie and Kylo. So this is more characters. There's also a droid. I can't remember the droid's name, but there is an R2 unit that roams around. So some people, I'm sure, are going to complain that there aren't enough R2s. They would like to see an R2 unit in every corner, and I get that. But having built an R2 unit, I can tell you that R2 units are notoriously hard to keep operating all the time. They break down. They have issues. People step on them and kick them and run into them, and therefore, to introduce a droid, you have to introduce a droid in a very controlled way. And they're doing it here, and maybe with the success of this, they can start, making more of them, and maybe seeing if some of that stuff gets passed down and graduating to Galaxy's Edge, which is my hope. So I know I'm rambling on about this, but my general comments are that they were fantastic, and it was an amazing thing to watch. And there is a story element involved, and as long as you get involved with that story, you'll have a great time. One YouTuber, I think it was Molly from All Ears Net, said it didn't really even have to be a Star Wars themed event. You don't have to be a huge Star Wars fan. I think it makes sense if you're a huge Star Wars fan. It makes more sense. But it was more of it could be like red team versus blue team. It could be a very simple thing with whole different things. And for many people, that was a complaint. They didn't, they're not connecting to the Rey and, Poe and Finn First Order Star Wars. They want the Death Star, Darth Vader, Tarkin, Boba Fett, Lando, Luke, Leia, Han. They want that Star Wars, and I get that. But this is the Star Wars we have, folks, and I'm here for it. I love that we have the old, and I love that we have the prequels, and I love that we have this new sequel trilogy. So I'm here for it. So I hope you will consider it if you guys are huge fans. I can absolutely tell you that I will give you an on-board review when the time comes. I will do some footage. I'll try to film things that other people are avoiding or trying to do a different spin on it. But starting today, the day I'm recording this video, just type in Galactic Starcruiser. You're going to have no shortage of great video footage. Some people want to be surprised. That's great. Good on you. I am not that person. I like to have an idea what I'm going in. And I'm kind of glad I did, because I've never done these kind of like escape room type games before. And I'd like to get an idea of what options we have, so I can at least be in the back of my mind prepared. I'm not going to like memorize everything, but I just want to have an idea. So anyway, so there we go. So we're at about 15 minutes. So I'll put a little note at the beginning of this to jump to 15 minutes. Jump to right now if you want to see the unboxing. So we have 2 this week. 2 that I'm really happy to see. We have an Entertainment Earth one. Let's get that right going. I wish I could do better guessing. I'm thinking it's a vintage collection, but we'll see. We'll see in 1 minute. 1 second. Ah, I was right. It is vintage collection. Ah, yes. We have 226 Bo-Katan Kryze. Now, so some that do watch this channel, I have to look. I may already have this one. Okay, so if I do, I will pop in at the end of this and do a full-out unboxing and do this. Otherwise, I will not. Because the funniest thing about this is I swore I found this one in a store, and then I swore I canceled it, and I think I did, but I think I might have ordered it twice. So I almost, we're going to end up with 3 of these. This is the problem, folks, that some old guys like me are having issues with trying to order stuff online and then still occasionally going into the store and seeing them. But I've gotten better. I've I now have a full list with pictures, showing everything I ordered, when I ordered it, whom I ordered it from. I'm good, and I'm figuring out how to cancel orders when I need to. So there's a nice, with the nice realistic face sculpt. Katie Sackhoff, so great to see her in a Star Wars role, like a live role, as opposed to just having the cartoon. So, as I said, if I do, we'll pop in at the end. If I do indeed have this loose or carded, I will unbox it then. All right, and then we have this one. Now, here's an example of something that I did order online. And then it turned out that Amazon had it available in stock, whereas the place online said it wasn't coming out until June. I wasn't going to receive it until June. And I'm like, oh my goodness, well that'll never do. So we got it, and here it is. We have the Navarro Cantina, okay, and this looks like it comes with the Imperial Death Trooper from Navarro, okay. So this is, of course, the little bar that the Mandalorian went in to check out in the first thing. It comes in, it's kind of a half a set, similar to the Rebel Blockade, right? I do find it interesting that they are doing kind of like half sets, and with the understanding, I think this is the 3rd one. I think we had the Rebel Blockade, we had the Bespin set, and then we have this set, right? So I am going to unbox this, okay, but I think I'm going to save that for another episode, okay, because I've been talking already. It's already 18 minutes into this, so, but I will say that, I'm loving the, one of the things I will do is I do want to open it up just to take out the figure, just to kind of show that. So I'll do that right now. I'm loving that they're still using the vintage art, the vintage Kenner box designs. They just look so cool. All right. Oh, there is the. Okay. Got to go a little bit more here. Whoopsie. Hang on. Got my. Okay, let me just get this. I don't want this to get loose and have stuff end up falling out of it like it almost did. So we'll get this on another episode with, in fact, I'm actually going to probably put this up where I ended up with the Razor Crest. So VC220, there he is. Sorry for the glare. Mandalorian Death Trooper. Okay, again, if I have a 220 already, I will, and they look like they are pretty much the same figure. If I do already have one, I will do an unboxing of this one as well. Okay, so that will do it for this episode of Darth Tuba Star Wars Unboxing Show. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the notification button, do all that other jazz, and let's hitting that thumbs up button always is helpful. And maybe you'll see me at the end of this video, or maybe you will see me at the next video. So thank you so much for watching. Until next time, may the toys and the Force be with you. Hold the phone, everyone. It turns out I already got Bo-Katan. So Bo-Katan, you're coming out of the box, and you're going to join the Mandalorian near the Razor Crest. Yes, I am going to slowly amass a collection of doubles from the times that I accidentally ordered something twice, or if I ordered something online a long time ago, and I find a figure in a toy store or something, I'll pick it up and do a loose one here and there. I don't have to have them all, but just a handful here and there, just to kind of help, open up the diorama a little bit. So Bo-Katan is coming out of the package. All right, so here we go. Now they do come with these really interesting helmets that are made of a very soft. Oh wait, let me just make sure here. She's got these two. Got these two weapons that I know if I'm not careful, I'm gonna lose them both. Oh my goodness. Okay, there's one, and there's the other. Yeah, so it's really nice. Oh wait, no, sorry. Really? All right, silly. All right, so you have to do it this way. You can either do the Bo-Katan without the helmet, or pop her head off. I'm not going to show that on television because it seems kind of gross. And then Bo-Katan with the helmet. But what's nice about the Bo-Katan without the helmet, and because of the fact that she's got holsters, my favorite little new accessory that really didn't exist too much on the vintage, real vintage, 1970s and 80s, is that when you set things up a certain way, you can actually have her kind of holding her helmet. Let me see if I can twist. Yes, perfect. You can have her holding her helmet. Do that right. And there she is, holding her helmet. All right, so that's how I'm going to do it. I may even put a little piece of double stick tape, tiny piece, just to kind of keep it glued there a little bit without permanently damaging it. But there is Bo-Katan. Okay, see if I can do the hand thing. Come on. There it is. Awesome, Katie Sackhoff. So great in Star Wars lore, Star Wars form. All right, again, thank you for this slightly extended video. I hope you enjoyed it. Check me out on Instagram, Twitter, at Darth Tuba, Darth Tuba Star Wars Unboxing page on Facebook, or the Stars Podcast. I forgot to mention that earlier. Thanks so much for watching. May the Force and the toys be with you.